Hey loves. Okay, I'm finally back home. I was need to get some ice. I'm so thirsty. Oh my god. So thirsty. So I wanted to talk about a topic. So I'm going to talk about, I think, like 3 topics in one. So the first topic I want to talk about with you all is gaslighting. So I officially looked up the term. I looked up the term gaslighting to see more about what gaslighting means. And here's what I figured out, guys, and realized. If you feel like you are being gaslighted, you most likely are, okay? So I'm thirsty. Oh my god, it's so hot outside. 1 second, guys. I just got home. I have to go back out. Sorry, Lennon. And my feet are tired, and I'm tired right now. So the title of this video I'm gonna change after I finish the video. So yes, guys, that's just something I'm not gonna, I haven't done too much research on it, but I did look it up because on social media I heard that term going around. I just want to be in a bath right now full of ice. Lord God. It's not even that hot outside, but I always prefer the cooler weather. Anyway. And so I did a little bit of research. Like I watched like 2 videos, and then I was like, 'cause I keep hearing people talk about being gaslit, It's not the first time that I heard people talking about gaslighting. So I said, oh, let me look it up. Let me look up what gaslighting means. Let me look it up, And so from what I heard in the video, from my perspective, what I said to myself was, okay, well, if somebody thinks they're being gaslit, then they most likely are. You don't really have to second guess it. Like, if you feel like someone's being shady, or if you feel like someone is like pulling your leg, even if they have a straight face, like if you think that someone's pulling your leg, then most likely they are. So that's what I'll say with that, okay? And never tolerate disrespect. Never tolerate disrespect. You don't have to respond with anger or being rude back necessarily, but just never accept disrespect. So that's how I'm gonna open the video. That's just one topic that I wanted to kind of talk about. And then I want to talk about life when you get what you want, okay? When you've worked hard for what you want, when you manifest what you want. Sorry guys if I close my eyes. I'm gonna be closing my eyes right now because it's hot, and I had to wear sunglasses, and now that I'm like in AC, and as you can see, like the room is dark, I didn't put on the lights because I don't want to like feel more hot. I want to feel more cool. I want to be relaxed. So I'm probably just gonna like talk to you guys with my eyes closed. So if you're watching the actual video, you see my eyes closed, that's because I'm tired. I've been up really early, and the day just started, and I had to get a whole bunch of like adulting stuff done. So I'm like really tired right now. But I've been trying to fight off this exhaustion by just like, well, I did sleep all the way through, but I got up, I think, like super early. Like I think I got up at like 4:50 a.m. or like 5 a.m., which was like, what? I didn't feel like going back to sleep, so then I just started cleaning and getting ready for my day. Then I was out the house super early, so if you guys see my eyes closed, that's why, okay? So yeah, so then I wanted to talk about being the it girl, or being the it boy, or it woman or man, right? Whatever. Like, could be a popular person, or you're well liked or well endowed, or you just begin to see a lot of things in your life go your way. But I wanted to talk about how to handle that and what that comes with, because for some reason of late I've been having some really, really, really interesting conversations with people, like super, super, super interesting conversations with people about a whole range of topics. For some reason it's just been happening naturally to me, and positively, like, you know, been having really, 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 really fruitful, solid, like, conversations, you know. And I actually just came back from running errands, and I was in a store. And I was like getting some stuff, and I don't know, like, I don't know. People just seem to be able to talk to me. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's just because of the gifts God gave me, or because I just know how to read people's energy and read people's minds, which I can do very well. So maybe that's why it's easier for me to have a conversation with any zodiac sign, any personality, really any ethnicity, any person, any gender, even any sexuality, because I know how to relate to people. And I feel like I just get people. And I've always been around different personalities from when I was very, very young, you know, whether it was in a family business or at work or school or whatever. Like, I've always been around, not even, you know, by me wanting to be, but just like naturally, I've always been around people, you know what I'm saying? Whether I've been in a good mood or not, whether I want to be sociable or not, like, I'm always around people, you know? So it's like, I'm beginning now to see like how that shaped how I converse with people, how I'm relatable to people. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like I could talk to anybody. And sometimes I shock myself because I'm like, bruh, like, did I have to really like have that conversation? Like, probably not. But literally, like, I could have a conversation with anybody, even if the person's, in my opinion, not even like a good or great communicator. Like, as long as I'm talking, as long as I can read the energy of the person, as long as I can like pick up what they're putting down, like, I can hold a conversation, which is like insane to me, like literally insane. And yesterday I came on here and I did a whole bunch of YouTube shorts and a bunch of videos, and I was telling you guys, like, you know, how like yesterday, the 19th of October in the year 2023, but you know, the date October 19th in general was so special, because like yesterday a lot of things just seemed to click for me, you know, and I'm very grateful for that. But it just seemed like I got a lot of downloads. I was just getting constant downloads like the whole day. And then you know, one conversation, one person, whatever, like, not just different situations, but like different conversations, you know. And then even today, you know, randomly, like somebody literally, I mean, I wouldn't consider a stranger a friend, but like, you know, this person talked to me and like started talking for like almost 20 plus minutes, and like literally kept coming back to me and like then asking for my number, which was like, wow, you know. And it's kind of been like that for a while. Like, you know, I do consider 2023 a really good year, but it's just been like a really fast, you know, increase. And I would say just people, you know, like me attracting good people, like me having like really, really good conversations. And then because of that, like, people like want to like create a bond, or like they want to like get to know me, or they want to um like I could tell that they're happy being around me because of like who I am, you know what I'm saying? And like that's something that I never really kind of realized. Like, I never really kind of realized like my impact on people in that way, like in real life, not even social media. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, I just didn't really think about it. And I had to kind of like step back, and I was like, wow, like, this has been happening a lot to me, and I mean, yeah, I've been doing a lot of spiritual work, but I'm like, wow, like it's a lot of people, you know, and I am busy, and like I have a life and I have a family and I have pets, and I don't have kids yet. I'm not married yet, but one day I will be married, you know, and one day I will have my own kids if I want kids. And I feel like I want to have kids, you know what I'm saying? And my life will just get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know what I'm saying? And the years will go by and go by and go by. And so it was interesting because one of the conversations I had was great, but I was picking up, I wouldn't say red flags, but I was picking up, that's kind of mean if I say red flags, but I was picking up, this person was talking about a certain topic. It happened to be relationships, romantic relationships. So let's start off there. This was another person. This wasn't somebody who asked me for my number or like became instant friends. This was like more of like a stranger, and like I don't know, we just kind of struck up a conversation. It was like really random, and this person was talking about like their relationship dilemma, not even knowing, you know, what kind of cards I read, and like my YouTube channel, like they didn't know nothing about that. So I, you know, of course there's no mistakes in the universe. Of course there's no coincidences. Like now as I get older, not older, I don't like that word, as I go up more in years and the more wisdom I have, it's like I'm kind of like things are easier to decode, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I enjoy like the longer you live, I actually enjoy it, because it's like every year that goes by, like it's just more wisdom, and it's in it. And yes, in a way, even though life becomes more expansive and there's more people in your life, and you know, it's like it just grows and grows and grows. At the same time, I will say I feel like if you are doing it right, it should be easier, because you know more, you just naturally know more. And like the more experiences, the more people, especially like talking to people, like you learn a lot about different personality, you learn a lot about like not just psychology, but how people operate. And it's easy to really kind of point out some, at least for me, at least of late, it's kind of easy for me to point out that person's insecurities or that person's issues or like that person's complications, because they'll say certain things that maybe they're not even aware of what they're saying. And it's like, okay, like, and then like you'll ask a certain question and like they'll answer exactly how you thought they'd answer. Why? Because like, not just if you're intuitive, I'm sure a lot of intuitive people on the internet can relate, but not just because if you're an intuitive person, it's just because like, you know, people, if you're around a lot of people and you actually pay attention, you'll see patterns in people, you know? And I will say this, there was just one person that was like plus, I would want to say like plus 38 years old. And this person was like talking about like the relationship or whatever. I'm not going to like give like too many details. And they were saying things, and like as the more I was like listening to them, I'm like, oh, like, so this is why. Like this is why you're having this issue, because I'm not gonna tell you, like I'm not I didn't feel comfortable enough to tell the person like what they're doing wrong per se, because not really my place. But it was just more of a situation of like, once I left like that store and like I was in my car and I was driving and I was like kind of like thinking about it, like I was like kind of ruminating on the conversation. Like I wonder like what was the purpose of that? Like what can I take away from that? And I was kind of putting pieces together, because, you know, people have similar experiences. So like when you hear the same thing over and over and over, but just from a different person, you're kind of like, oh, okay, like it's just easier to spot like what the problem really is. You see what I'm saying? And so I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes, and so I'm gonna kind of zoom out from that story and zoom out from those you know 2 details I gave you guys, and explain why I'm bringing this up. And I'm bringing this up because it has everything to do with energy, and not just energy, but your intent behind your energy. And what I find is a lot of people in life that have, you know, amazing things, or they do amazing things, or, you know, they have a happy family, but maybe they're really tired all the time, or they're overwhelmed, or whatever the case may be. And then like, you know, you'll talk to somebody else who who, you know, really hasn't invested that much into, you know, their work life. and they use a lot of, like, you know, going back to gaslighting, they use a lot of gaslighting terms to kind of psych themselves up into, or psych the other person up into thinking something different than what they really are. And what I'm now beginning to realize, it's because they don't put in effort. And I don't want to, you know, this should not be a trigger sensitive video. If it is, I apologize. It shouldn't be, because it's not against anything or anyone. It's just, I think that the more you learn in life, you should share, you should want to talk about, if it can help somebody and if it can help yourself. So that was a huge, once again, that was a huge turning point, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, like, I'm seeing a pattern. It's like, okay, like, so you have this issue, I see, okay, and then this, okay, but it's like, all that could be solved by your energy. All that could be solved by how you talk to people, how you treat yourself. Are you super harsh? Are you super judgmental? Are you really just a mean person? You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to love, I'm speaking for myself as well. What I realized, I had a really great breakfast outing with a friend recently, like 2 days ago. It was like over a 6-hour conversation. I can't even tell you how we talked for 6 hours. I can't even tell you. And she was like bringing things out of me, and I was asking her questions. I was like, I see a pattern. Like, it has everything to do with energy. So like, when you have a good thing going, guys, and your life is on the right track, and like things are happening really good for you, it's really important to like protect your vision. I want to say that, like, it's very, very important to not only protect your vision, but to protect your energy. Because when things are going good for you, a lot of people will want to put a cast on your shine, and it may not even be intentional, but that goes back to the whole gaslighting thing. Sometimes people will try to psych you up or make you believe the opposite because their life is trash. No offense, trigger warning, no offense. But sometimes it is because their life is trash, or just because they are actually a mean person. And there's other times where a person can be good looking, but they have a mean spirit. They're not a nice person. And so if you take a step back, guys, and it's a little bit of psychology, and it's a lot with astrology and zodiac signs, and it has to do with personality as well, But that was a huge eye opener, because in all these different, whether it's friends or strangers or acquaintances, like all these different conversations, like with completely different people from the next, everyone's different. I'm seeing a underlining like pattern. It's like, okay, like what kind of energy do they have? High vibrational, positive. And then this stranger had a more negative vibration, or they had a vibration that was giving off, like mean girl or nasty, nasty spirit. And then like when you hear like the themes of their life, why? It's because of what they're putting out in the universe, guys. And like, I've had that epiphany before. Like, obviously that's kind of like a cliche, but no, I'm extending that same message to now life circumstance and relationships, because a lot of people don't realize why they attract what they attract. And that's the problem. They think that it's A when it's really Z, or their partner really thinks it's Z, but then the other person thinks it's A. So we have to watch how we come across. And it's something that I'm also, as I'm getting older, once again, not older in a negative 3D term, older in terms of wiser, like the more, okay, I'll use the word wiser, like the more wiser I become is like, the more I can see like my own flaws, and I can see things that I have improved on upon myself. And like, I mean, I don't even know how it came about. Like I was saying yesterday was just an amazing day for me. I just realized a lot of things, and it was like, I changed my energy. I was changing my energy in a way where I wanted to attract like-minded people, or people that are also on a good vibe. And like, once I literally like made a decision to change my energy, and like, no matter if narcissists or leeches, see my light and want to attack me, I like literally programmed and told myself, like, it doesn't matter, like if there's narcissists and leeches or whatever, or like haters or jealous people, especially, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have a good energy, it's genuine, and like it's coming from a good place, the intention behind the energy is good, you are going to attract people towards you that also want to have a good time, that also want to have great conversation, that also are working hard and are not lazy and are not like leeches, you know what I'm saying, or not people that are just trying to take and not give back to anything. Because you know, a lot of people, their problem is in relationships and work relationships is that they want to take, but they don't want to give anything, and it's a two-way street, you know. And so when I actively made that switch and like was realizing my own vibration, I kid you not, and not to like put this out, I'm not bragging at all, but I'm giving you guys an example because I think it's important, because there's a lot of people out here who are single, you know. There is a lot of people in the world who are single, and you know, society, I mean, just look at like, you know, just look around you, right? Social media, whatever, like a lot of people are having like serious issues, you know, like getting along with their partner or even finding a person. And so I'm just speaking for as a testimony, as an example, not to brag. Once again, I'm just saying it because I feel like it's a really healthy example. It's like I actively made that change to like check myself, you know, to check my vibration, check what I was putting out. And I kid you not, it was not the strangest thing, because then that would sound more of like a negative. No, it was positive. I would say it was like gleefully shocking. And the result was like I literally was just like living my life, you know, minding my business. And it was like all these like different places I would go, different times as well. Like all these guys were so nice to me, like were like a gentleman. And obviously guys like sex, we all get that. I'm not talking about a booty call. I'm talking about like gentlemen, like actual like real men that are just like polite, you know, open the door. And then they're not my boyfriend. I'm like, they just open the door, or like they talk to you in a different kind of way. And I was like checking my energy, and I'm like, wow, like I could see the change. And I never had those kind of like super negative experiences, but I was kind of testing it out because I know that other people out here in the world, and my friend, just different people, like I hear them like complain, you know. And I was trying to figure out like, okay, like what could it be? Like, why are so many people, you know what I'm saying, in a rut, or they're not feeling happy, or you know, they thought that things were going good, but then it goes bad. Like, how does that happen? And what I've realized in my own experience is it's because of like what they're putting out, bruh. And like, that's just like the bottom line, because like I checked my energy. Like I said, like I didn't have anything on super, super special. Yes, I've always carried myself well, but like I wasn't like at a club, you know, I wasn't at like a gala, I wasn't at a wedding. Like it was like everyday life. And just like the way my whole day went and how people treated me, and it's been happening like all year really, but I'm just saying like as an example of yesterday, of when I was consciously like tapping it and aware of it, there was so many men that literally were like treating me like a queen, and they were asking me for my number, you know what I'm saying. And like I could say I'm technically taken, or I could technically say that like I'm talking to somebody or whatever else, you see what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying, it's up in the air because there's different people. But it was just the fact that like whatever I was giving off was clearly correct, because I was attracting what I wanted to attract, and I did it consciously. It wasn't something that I wasn't like working on. It wasn't something that I was just like ignoring. It was literally something that I said, okay, I'm gonna test it and see, because I felt like I don't know, like I don't want to say higher self. I don't know what the term would be, because I've never heard anybody talk like the way I'm talking. But it was just a kind of thing of like, oh, like it's hard to describe, because I don't think the name's been, if there's a term for what I'm describing, I've never probably heard it. But it was just something where I was like consciously checking my energy and like changing my energy. And like once I changed my energy, it was like all these people, you know, women and men, when I go to store, like let's say for example I'm running errands, you know, and they're workers, they are just super polite, like extra nice. And then let's say it's not a worker, but I'm just I'm out and about, and it's like a stranger, and it's a guy. Now a guy's looking for something, and I happen to be there, and like he's interested in me, and I happen to show up, and like we're having we're bouncing off energy, like good energy. Like that's because I checked my energy. So for a lot of you, if your life's already great and now your life is just going to go to, go from amazing to phenomenal, the reality is that your energy was correct. And like now I'm finally, like, even as I'm talking to you guys on camera right now live, it's like I'm finally getting it. Like it's finally clicking, it's finally making sense. Like when you see people that have, like, beautiful things and a happy family and loving partner, it's not by mistake, guys. It's not by mistake. And I maybe people that are, a certain demographic or a certain, like, when I say demographic, I mean like age group or like whatever, like maybe they're gonna be like offended. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody, but it's like, I listen. Like I've been, like, I'm listening, not just hearing, I'm listening. And I'm like, and I just, that stranger that was asking me for advice and did probably, I mean, I don't know if she knew what, I mean, they didn't know that I, have a YouTube channel or nothing like that. And I just was helping the person, and everything I said was like exactly what I thought. And the person confirmed it. I'm like, exactly. It's because your energy, like if you have a mean spirit and like you're not a nice person, like people are going to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? So you could try to like, and especially if you're judgmental, like especially if you come across as judgmental, like nobody's gonna want to be with a person who's judgmental. You see what I'm saying? Like overly judgmental, and is trying to cast like people down. And I'm saying like, and that's what was happening even like to me. And I was like, oh my God, like that's why, because like you're not being a nice person. And then hence, if I could talk to another stranger and we hit it off and we're having a great conversation and like everything is Gucci, it's because they actually have genuine good energy. Like I'm the kind of person where I can literally tell if someone has genuine good energy or they're putting on a show. Because there's people who think they have good energy and think they're nice, but they're just putting on a show. There's a difference, guys. So be honest with yourself. If you're trying to like seek out self-enhancement, or maybe you're having an issue with somebody in your life, like what I've learned like these past couple of days, and I was like really like researching and thinking about it, I'm like, okay, like this is what it is. It's like because they're fake. You see what I'm saying? Like some people are just fake and phony, and they think that people are fooled, but they're not fooled. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they're permanently in a rut or not happy or whatever. Because why? It's because they're not only their thoughts negative, but they're putting out bad energy and they're not aware of it. You see what I'm saying? So it may not be the word is bad, but it's not high vibrational. It's not loving. It's not pure. It's not an energy of, it's not inviting. It's not warm. You see what I'm saying? It's cold. It's calculated, and people pick that up. And I would even say that a person doesn't have to be intuitive to know that someone's fake. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yes, being intuitive and having spiritual gifts is an advantage for sure, especially if you apply like real factual knowledge to that, and science and psychology on top of that, which I do. You're definitely set. You're good to go, because then on top of that, you're gonna know people's personality and how they get down. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be able to crack the code about a person like that. But I would even submit that a person doesn't have to be even intuitive to pick up if energy of a person is fake or not. You see what I'm saying? So I think that people just have to kind of like I always say, out of love, like they have to check their energy. They have to check their energy, because sometimes they're setting themselves up for disaster, because they're not only is their thought processy wrong, and then your thoughts is what's gonna control your body and your mind, and then from your body and your mind, and then from your body and your mind actions, that's gonna relay into other areas of your life, your finances, your relationships, your career. So that's what I realized. So as I actively did the work, at that point, in different areas I was tweaking in my life, then I realized like, oh my God, that's what it is. It's because I changed my energy, and I had my energy in a way where I was attracting what I want. So yeah, so if your life is going good and like you have no complaints, or your life is really good right now, I congratulate you. I salute you, and hold on to that good energy. Don't have people gaslight you. Don't accept gaslighting. And on top of that, don't accept a different reality that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Only attract and only keep the thoughts and energy that you want to keep, so you can have an amazing, amazing life. And don't compromise that. Don't try to downgrade yourself for other people, because in this world, there will be people who just want to take off your plate, and in this world, there will be people who pose as good people and pose as, having good intentions, or wanting to be a friend, or even wanting to be a romantic partner, but their intention behind their energy is foul. And that will translate into, guess what that will translate into? That will translate into breadcrumbing. That will translate into blocking, ghosting, talking down, cursing, gossiping, cheating, infidelity, stealing, theft. Like it all it's from the point of energy, right? From this point of energy, it translates all the way down or all the way up. So that's kind of like the kind of example, like the tugel, if you will, that I've been using since, I would really say the whole year, but of recent, like I've really like been working at it and like trying, and I've realized like, oh my God, like this is like, the book The Secret. I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is like the secret that like the book was talking about, not just law of attraction, which is a part of it, but it's really about how you want to live, like, do you have to know a person? Do you have to know a person in a face-to-face intimate level to be respectful? No, you don't, right? You don't have to know a person on a deep level to be respectful. You could be respectful to a dog. You could be respectful to a stranger. You could be respectful to a neighbor, right? You don't have to know the person to be respectful. And never become a mean-spirited person or a negative person or a bitter person because of past experiences. You know what I'm saying? Never, ever lower your energy and you being a good person and you being successful because you want to, appease others, or you want to be on other people's level that you want to try to impress or get to know, because then you're going to lower your frequency. You're not going to be able to achieve your dreams, your goals. So it's really, you have to be, I wouldn't use the word focus, but instead of the word focus, because focus sometimes can sound like kind of sharp, right? And kind of harsh. Like, I just want to get some fresh air. Sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, so that's basically what I did, guys. Oh, the air is nice anyway. So yeah, like I literally, no cap you all, I literally checked my energy. And it was just like good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing. And I promise you guys with all my heart that it will work. I promise you, like, but you gotta put in the work. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, don't look to your left or to your right, and don't do things off of other people's ideas of you or other people's merit of you, or trying to live up to something. That's like one of the worst things you can ever do, is try to like do things for other people that you don't care about, because then that's disingenuous. You see what I'm saying? And so, as long as you stay true to yourself, you're gonna always attract circumstances and people and things that feel good to you. And even as I'm talking to you guys, like the whole Abraham Hicks thing, a lot of her teachings is coming full circle. As I'm talking to you guys, everything's coming full circle, because I'm like, a lot of times she'll talk about like vibration and vibes and energy, and she'll talk about like, a lot of times, in different like of her different seminars, different videos she does, she will refer to like energy. And there was one seminar where she was saying like, never do, the pollen, 1 second. she was like, never do something that you don't want to do. Like if you adamantly don't feel good about something, you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Don't ever force yourself to do things you don't want to do. That's not a good idea. So that kind of just, I think, brings full circle. It's like, how do you want to live? You have to ask yourself, how do you want to live? Do you want to live in an apartment? Do you want to have your own house? Do you want to be single? Do you want to be in an open relationship? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be, like what is it? You know what I'm saying? And it's never too crazy. It's never too crazy because it's your reality. It's what you want. And so, maybe another issue maybe another issue people have is that they don't know what they want. They don't know what they really, really want out of life. And so that's why they hate on other people, or they get themselves in a negative spot because they don't really know. They're not really honest. The word is, once again, it goes back to authenticity. They're not honest with themselves. They haven't spent time with themselves. They haven't worked on themselves. So because of that, in turn, it becomes a downward spiral, and they wonder why things are not working. Things are not working because the energy is not working for you in your favor. The universe is not putting things in your favor. It's not putting things in your favor because you're not putting things in your own favor. So when you're putting things in your own favor, the universe, that big bird, the universe has no other way but to present to you what you deserve, what you want, what you work for, what you put out. Because like I said, like I've been testing it, like, and not just by reading it and hearing it and watching videos about it. Like I've, like, for the longest, guys, like I've actually like conducted experiments like on my own life, my own self, just to see, is this legit, just to see if this is like really how the universe works. And it is. And it is. And for those of you that maybe, feeling a little impatient in life, ask yourself, what I'm saying, like, what could you change that can help you, that can improve you, that can enhance what you want to work towards? That you have to ask yourself that as well, because it can't just be, take. Like, what are you willing to give? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to put effort into to see a good harvest? Because let me tell you, everything I've ever done in my life is like, whenever I've done it from a good space and like with ease, and I feel confident and I feel happy, I've never had an issue. And like that kind of goes to like the other YouTube short that I made yesterday. Is like, bro, like I've never ever had an issue when I have stayed in my own energy, my own lane, my own happiness, like my own vision. I've never had an issue. Only time I ever had an issue is if there's a opposing force energy by a person or something that is either jealous, one, or doesn't like me or whatever, or is having a bad day, or maybe is just trying to block what I got going on. You see what I'm saying? But if your vibration is high enough, you shouldn't have those issues. Like, if you know how to conduct yourself and like control yourself, and like what's right from wrong, then you shouldn't have those issues. You see what I'm saying? If those issues do occur, you look for a solution. You don't try to like, ruminate on the energy. You just simply go for a solution. That's what you're supposed to do. So a lot of these issues people keep having repeatedly is not supposed to happen, because if they just kind of take a step and a moment to think about the patterns in their life and what's happening around them, and people they love and all types of stuff, they'll find the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Because just like how I can hear people and I can listen to them and I could give advice or whatever, and then I could like I could tell them what's going on, and they'll come back to me and say, oh, that's exactly what you said. Well, it's because I paid attention. See, when you don't pay attention, especially inwardly or spiritually, it's very easy for someone to get confused, because they're listening to all these other people doing all these things they don't want to do, and then they wonder why they're not getting what they want, because they're doing schemes, they're doing tricks, they're doing things that don't resonate on a soul level. So the way to your success, the way to your happiness, the way to changing your life is, it has to be a vibrational match. You see what I'm saying? It has to be something that 444 on the clock, guys. It has to be something that actually resonates with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, when I manifested like our family house, I manifested it. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact I manifested it. I wasn't wavering either. I knew exactly the kind of windows, the kind of features, the kind of people. Like, I put all of that into perspective. Everything about it I put on paper. You feel what I'm saying? And you have to be honest. Like, you have to be honest. Like, what is it exactly that you really, really want? Because if you don't really know, it's not going to appear. And then when it does appear, if you're wishy-washy, it's going to go away. It's going to go bad. It's going to disappear. It's going to be a downward spiral because, you know, depression, anxious, and sadness is down, right? Peace, prosperity, euphoria, bliss is up. So it's not really difficult. You see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of simple. It's simple, but you know, us humans, we make things complicated. You know what I'm saying? We make life complicated because we don't know, we don't want to face reality. We don't want to face and own up to anything. That's another thing. You have to own up to it. You know, everything, you have to own up to it. You have to own up to what exactly is in your control. Now, what's on your control, that's fine. Let it roll off your back, you know, brush it off. But I'm saying that if it's a project, if it's a job, if it's a relationship, if it's something that you really, really want and it's going sour, or it's something that just doesn't seem to be working out, well, it's because, you know, there's a chink in the chain. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere along the energy frequency, the conversation or the thought process or whatever that you were doing was aligning with something that doesn't connect with what you actually want. That's what people are having issue with. That's why so many people are having relationship issues nowadays, because they're focused on what they don't want. They're focused on what the person, you know, doesn't provide for them or does. That's the issue. That's the issue. They're focused on what they don't have. They're focused on what doesn't work. They're focused on all the negative stuff, but rarely are they ever focused on what they actually have and what they can actually work with and what actually is going to enhance their state of mind. That's a difference. And that's why a lot of times, especially celebrities, no matter what's going on in the world, people that are rich or have money or whatever, if they're a good person, they always get what they want, right? 1, 2, they're always happy. Why? Because they focus on what they do have, and so when they focus on what they do have, they get more of what they actually want. You know, it expands. Energy is always expanding. Energy is always overlapping. Energy is always, you know, is always there. So if you're focusing on how much money you have and you're grateful and you're happy and you can buy yourself a nice meal, or you can buy yourself a purse, or someone gifted you something and you're really happy for it, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be in a high vibration. So now you're going to work more. Now you're going to take care of your stuff, right? Now you're gonna put it on display, or you're gonna be proud of what you have. And guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna attract more of it. You're gonna keep attracting more. But then example, another person who maybe they have a hole in their shoe, okay, and you know they don't have a job, or they don't have any income per se, or they don't like nothing good is happening in their life, right? And they're not on a positive momentum, a positive streak, right, to attract a good paying job, or they're not on a certain energy vibration frequency where they have income. So all their thoughts now is what? My shoes. I can't go to my track meeting because I can't afford another pair. See, now they're on a negative spiral because everything is what they don't have. Instead of trying to fix what they do have, or trying to find a way to get something more, to have more, to be happier, they're stuck at a certain vibration point that it's a rut at that point. So that's the issue. That's why you cannot stay in a negative thought process for too long. You cannot stay in a negative rut for too long, because if you get comfortable, you're going to attract more of the same negative thing. That's the issue a lot of people have, is they think it's just the world. They blame everybody else, but they never look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? It's their parents hurt them. It's everybody else, right? It's everybody else, but they're not looking at how they're contributing to that. They're not looking at, well, what did I do to contribute to that? You see what I'm saying? Like, how could I make something happen? What is the next step? Like it's not about complaining. It's about what's the next step? What's the solution? And that's what I did more of this year. And that's why I think, I love this year so much, because a lot of things I did is like I had control over like myself, you know what I'm saying? And I always have, but it's like I'm saying, like on a deep subconscious level, it's like I get it now. I understand that like it's all about the energy. You see what I'm saying? And like if you're a good person and you're doing good things, like you should naturally attract that too. And if you're not, then something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Either you need to change your environment, you need to go somewhere different, you need to, it's something, because not at any other particular point can you not be a genuinely nice, good person, and you're not gonna attract nothing good. That don't make any sense. How are you a hard worker, a good person, right, and good energy, but your life sucks? That's not possible. It's literally not possible. Like everything I've ever like put like real attention and focus in, like it's always come up, or like it's always manifested, like every single time. I've never like there's hardly anything I could think of in my life that I've not gotten, because like I've aligned with it. Like I've literally like worked, I've put in effort, I've aligned with it, and I've accepted it as I have accepted it as my reality. And so then therefore it shows up. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say I'm gonna go to a store and get everything at the price I want, and I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z, well, I'm going to get that. And funny enough, I've never had a situation where I don't get what I want. Like I will go in a store, literally like today I will literally go to a store, go for one thing or two things, and then I'll be like, you know what, I think I want to get this, let me see if they have this. I go to the aisle, they have a boom, perfect price. Like I don't know, like in my world, like I've never not had that, bro, like ever. And if it's too expensive, I always find an alternative, if not better, at a lower price every single time. And then eventually I do manifest a high price item. Because why? Because you're putting your energy and momentum in the direction of what you want. So let's say, for example, it's a high ticket item. It's something that's very, very expensive. Okay, you got to put in work to get that. Okay, or you have to manifest some way to get that through some other avenue that aligns with you. But it can't be fake. It can't be fraudulent. It can't be, in a negative, jealous vibration. Because then if you do get it, you're not going to keep it. Because then if you do get that, it's not going to last. And either it's not gonna last, it's gonna break, or it's gonna escape you. I'm telling you, it's gonna escape you. So that one lady, like I was talking to her, and literally she was a Virgo too, bruh. And she came back and she was like, "You were spot on." And I was like, I already know that, because like why? Like I study personality, and I'm like, okay, like I've been around so many people at this point that like, and like at least I pay attention to my life. It's like someone could tell me like their sign, and like I understand like how they think. So a lot of their problems is just kind of like a self-program. It's kind of like a default program. And then once like they kind of crack that program, they reprogram their mind, and then they get what they want. That's all it is, guys. That's literally all it is. So you see how like there's all this negative news, all these like wars and stuff, and all this shit. Like people right now don't care about that. Like, yeah, a lot of people care about that, but like people that are actually smart, like they're not putting energy into it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I can have sympathy for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I could be sad for anybody, any innocent kid being taken out of this world wrongfully. Of course I can feel bad about it, but guess what? I'm not gonna sit there and now put my thoughts, my mind, my energy into, oh my God, now everybody, everyone's criminals, and oh my God, the world's coming to an end. You see, it's a spiral. Because once you get hooked, then your brain doesn't know when to stop. Your brain will say, oh my God, now it's going to happen to us. And then your brain's going to go in and say, oh my God, it's going to keep being negative. It's going to keep like being stuck on something that you have no control over. Like all these people that are passing away, it's very sad, yes, but we have no control over that. You see what I'm saying? And that goes back to what is in your focus, what is in your lane, what can you do about what you got going on. If you look in here or look over there, and you walking over here in people's business, all types of stuff like that, you're not focused on yourself, and that's why you're gonna get messed up. So you have to focus on your own ish. You see what I'm saying? You can still have sympathy for even a friend. It could be a parent, it could be anybody. You can still care about something, but as soon as you get hooked emotionally, once your brain starts to say to once your brain starts to take over, or your heart starts to take over and pull you astray, that's when you lose, because now your brain is in a, you know, your focus is not on your own shit. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people right now are making a lot of money and they're happy while everybody else in the world is crying boo-hoo. You know what I'm saying? You know, watch them and you know, which reality do you want to live in? You know what I'm saying? Which reality do you want to live in? Like, I can still feel bad for people, but like, I'm not going to waste my whole day. You see what I'm saying? Like, putting that negative, sad energy out, because I'm putting because then therefore I'm putting sad energy in the world. You feel what I'm saying? If my energy is happy and content and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling myself, I'm gonna put more of that in the world. But if I'm sitting there and I'm crying and then I'm gonna get worked up. Then what? Then I'm gonna go argue with somebody. Then I'm gonna go cry. It's a spiral. It's gonna take me lower and lower and lower. Then you're gonna get depressed. It's not gonna stop, guys. You know, the emotions is a game. Like, in this world, like, having emotions is a game. It's literally a game, bro. Like, once your emotions can shift your whole atmosphere. You know, when you're in a good mood, your atmosphere is going to reflect your good mood. But when you're in a negative mood, your atmosphere is going to shift. You're going to see it. Your atmosphere is going to shift. It's going to acquiesce to the request of your emotion and in your mind. It's going to shift, because that's your state of mind. If your state of mind is abundance, if your state of mind is love, if your state of mind is health, if your state of mind is happiness, you're going to look for that. You're going to attract that. If your state of mind is, everything's so hard, you know, everything's so expensive, like, you start to complain, you're gonna see more of that. You're gonna see more of that. You're gonna see more of that. So I've had to train myself the whole year. I've literally trained my brain. My own mom cannot understand sometimes, like, when I do something, and she's like, wow, I'd be telling her, I'm like, bro, I had to train myself to stop, because once you research how your mind works, that's how your mind works, guys. So all the success you see people have, not the evil people, not the crook people, I'm saying the real people who bust their ass. I'm saying people that have nice things and they do nice things and what, blah, 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 blah. It's not by mistake, guys. It is not by mistake. So be careful when you're jealous of people, because you don't know what they had to do to get there. And on top of that, don't focus on that. You see what I'm saying? Like, celebrity business, if you don't like them, okay, don't give them that kind of energy. Just focus on yourself. You see what I'm saying? Focus on a different celebrity, like, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So that is what helped me have an amazing year. I love this year, you know, and it's sad that so many people didn't like this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people have been hating, you know what I'm saying? Like, since the pandemic, they've been hating life, you know, and it's sad because they don't think they have control. They think that the world is just kind of on this evil mode and trying to get them, and everyone's out to get them. And guess what? When you think that, that's what happens. And I'm not gonna lie, there's some people I listen to sometimes, and I'm like, bruh, they be talking about people coming after them and being this and being that, and then they attract the same thing they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If they just took their focus off of it, they would attract more good people. But they keep putting their focus on people that, you know, don't care about them or don't like them. And so why are you giving them your energy? You know what I'm saying? Give your energy, like, give your energy to something that is beneficial to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the game, guys. That is really the game, bro. Like, your emotions control a lot more than you think. Your thoughts control a lot more than you think. And it's not by accident. When people are, like, not fake happy, I'm saying when people are genuinely happy and, like, their life is just going up and up and up and up, it's because they deserve it. I know, shocking, but they actually deserve it. And that's what it is, guys. They've put themselves in a state of mind. They've aligned themselves with what they really, really want, and they don't waver on it. You know, if they say they want to get married, okay, they only focus on what equals marriage. You know what I'm saying? They don't focus on fuckboy energy, you know, bullshit. They focus on what actually is what they want. And people need to stop putting their focus on things that are going to trigger them, that are going to make them upset, because then it's going to be a spiral. So it's that simple, guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you shape your reality. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. Like, what makes you feel good, you know, what makes you happy, you know, keep putting your energy into that. What doesn't feel good, what doesn't feel right, don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Don't feed it. Don't feed the beast. Because once you feed the beast, and you have one negative thought, then here comes 10, then here comes 20, then here comes a breakdown, then here comes cursing. Then it always happens that way. You ever see somebody argue with somebody and it starts off as like low, calm, and then all of a sudden it just gets to like a crescendo where then it's just like things just get out of control, because it's a negative wave, man. It's a negative frequency. And once a person or a situation's on that, it's hard to get off. It's hard to get, man, that's a word. It's hard to get off that. That's why no matter what's happening in the world, you have to stay on that vibration of you're gonna get what you want, you're gonna have a great life, you're gonna have a great day, you're gonna have great conversations, you have people that love you, you know, you have a roof over your head, you got hot food in your stomach. It could be as simple as I could take a hot shower, you know what I'm saying? And being grateful for that and staying on that energy. And then watch how your whole energy shifts, bruh. I'm telling you. You don't have to do a whole bunch of, you know, meditations and yoga and all this crazy. You don't have to waste your time trying to fake into the good energy. Just be genuine. Be genuine, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to like watch a bunch of fake ass videos and then wonder why you're still in a shitty mood. No, you have to be, it has to come from a genuine place, guys. And when it comes from a genuine place, it's going to reflect in your life. And your life is going to get better and better and better. And that's why I think I had a good year. I'm sharing that with y'all because I think, you know, people ask me, I'm like, you know what? I've learned a lot this year, so I think it's important to share, you know? I really do. So I love you guys. And I want to go take a bath. I'm tired. So, but it's been a very productive week. Oh, there's my kitty cat. There's my baby. So I love you guys. Hope this helped you guys, okay? Love you guys. Stay safe, okay? Bye.